And we're live on our Saturday pop-up special, Michael and Annie. So
Yes.
this background looks different than normal because I'm hiding out in my son's room. He's on the couch sleeping. Evie's in my bed sleeping. At midnight last night, she was building a fort in my bedroom when I was sleeping. So I don't think either of them are getting up anytime soon. I don't even have like a brand up. Like, what are we? Conversations with Mike. There we go. I put it up. So, Mike.
The soul-centered one too, if you want.
Yeah, that's true. It's either one. Whoops.
And we be gone.
I think we're going to leave the Living with Annie Dude up just because we're ending that and starting Soul Center. So today we wanted to talk about kind of a little bit of how this whole journey started and where we're going with it and how it's sort of evolved with us, especially me, going from heart to soul centered, because that's really truly what's made this into what it is, and us meeting and then kind of coming together. What?
Look at your comments. Way to go, Sammy. I love you, Sammy. You're awesome.
Sammy, I'm in your bedroom.
Yeah, go for it right now. I love it.
But that came through as a Twitch comment and a YouTube comment. Anyway, hi, Sam. Hi, Sam. Hi, Michael. Wait, Michael, I just commented on something that you wrote on because you said that TikToks, unless they're educational, you're not into them. And I have to call you out because you've liked my dancing TikToks. So I'm going to call you out. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
So guys, let me start over. Let me tell you what we're doing today. We're talking about, this is very exciting. Mike and I we just planned this. Good morning from Brazil. Oh my God. Hi guys. This gets me crazy.
I know it does.
So I've gotten better. I've gotten a little less. Hi, Bill. Hi, Nelson. Good morning from Brazil. Hi, Mark. I'm working on your intro outro right now. This will help. Yeah, but this is just so much. I know. I love you anyway. Thanks, Michael. So I guess my dancing TikTok's gonna get a free pass.
Yes.
So we want people to understand. Oh my God, there's a lot of people. Hi, Adrian. Mark makes a great point, everyone. My dancing TikToks are educational. Sammy's here. I'm in his room because I didn't want to wake up my kids, and now he's awake. I'm live. Yeah. So sorry for waking you. So hi, good evening from India. Hi.
And York.
Morning from York. Graham, good to see you. Kelly. Hi, sweetheart. So the whole point of this is that we want to talk a little bit about how things.
Hey, Sparkle.
Hi, Sparkle. Are you controlling the comments, Mike?
I should have just signed it. I should have just signed it with you, and then I could have helped you.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm going to stop the comments for right now. So I will get to them later when they start coming in. But we want to talk a little bit about how, like, when we met, what was it, like 14, 15 months ago, right? Yeah. And okay, good night. I was completely, I would say, heart-centered. Yeah, he left. And I was always heart-centered. I was always like coming from the heart, always authentic. But I wasn't yet further evolved. I had a lot of work to do. I didn't even realize that. I had just finished school last May. So by the way, I think it's almost to the day that I graduated a year ago with my master's. And I came out like having this little consulting firm doing some projects just to make my way through school. And I'm like, this isn't fulfilling. And you were like, you need to be doing way more. Like basically telling me go ahead, you tell that part.
Okay. Okay, but hang on a sec. Let's take a step back because 15 months ago when we met, 16, 15, whatever it was, I wasn't even mind-centered. I was like off the radar completely and just completely shut down.
That's true. I'm sorry. I skipped a major part of our story.
Yeah, I mean, I was in a complete shutdown mode at that point, right? And I wasn't heart-centered. I wasn't soul-centered. I wasn't mind-centered. I was just chaos, right? And
I started to follow your story. I started to follow your story on LinkedIn.
And through our interactions, we both found our way, right? And we've created this bond, and now we've evolved your company. It's evolved everything I work on. And we've both gone on this journey parallel together, of just complete evolution in how we look at everything, right? And there's been a ton of work, there's been a ton of bad moments, ton of good moments, ton of every moments, right? Like it's been this very big push and pull and all over the map of how we get things done. Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
You know, it's been all over the map, right? Of where we've been, where we've gone, what we've gone through.
Well, I used the word Annie-tude to be funny one day. And
Yes.
Thank you, Kelly. It is really fun,
It
actually.
is.
This is a good day to do this because
it's not always fun, but it is educational. It's always
in
educational.
In this way, it's fun today. So I said, you have a bad Annie-tude. And you were like, we were like, that's a great word, right? So what do we turn, you, business mind, you were like, we got to turn this into like, you need a podcast.
Well,
like,
first, Gabe said you should make that your tagline.
Hashtag.
Right? Hashtag. And then from that, me and you took it to this whole new level of, we created a tagline around it that it's not just a play on words, it's a way of life. And then we turned it into the Living with Annie-tude podcast. And as that started to happen and we both started evolving, so did your business. Because it went from this consulting and cleaning toxins out of your life and this heart-centered place of helping people to just get more heart-centered to now what this next evolution is, which is truly deeper on a soul level and soul-centered, right? So it's been this path and this journey. And while 15 months is not a long time in the period of a life, I can promise you it's been a very long journey in this 15 months. And the reason that it was such rapid evolution is because we did rapid work. I mean, we worked our asses off on ourselves, right? And it's been this journey, this arduous journey of just self-torture, self-torment, falling into old patterns and behaviors, and fighting ourselves some of the times because our subconscious would come in and try and bring us back to where we were, right? But this journey, the biggest gift from this journey is the self-awareness that has come through it, because it's the self-awareness today that allows us to stay where we are today and evolve.
And here's a point. I thought I was extremely self-aware. So when I came out of school, I was like ready to go get that big corporate job. And, and obviously COVID changed everything. My kids were home from school. Hi, Bayar. And hi, whoops. And we all had to pivot, right? Like everybody had to pivot. And working from,
I lost all my contracts in 1 month. I lost all my contracts in 1 month.
So naturally you were like, all right, Annie, let's do something big. But like, you didn't even say it, it was unspoken. We just sort of started it. And we started having guests on Living with Annie-tude. We started doing Living with Annie-tude conversations with Mike, which has some of the best feedback and views that I have. And it started to grow. And then I think I got like one client, and it wasn't even, anything big. It was just helping people, guiding them, mentoring them. And we slowly started to become, so we thought of this together. Mark and I thought of the real spiel is going to be a journey of self-torture. So be it. Yeah, that's what happens. But it's a journey of self-awareness and finding yourself too. So it's as dark as it can be. It's also beautiful. I mean, look what we've made. We're now here to talk about the Soul Center and the Soul Center experience, which is our next live show. Which is the evolving of everything that we've done. Yeah. And I'm the most fulfilled. We came up with the breath framework, which is my whole program that we've developed together. And it's what I coach my clients on. So that's like all of the stuff that's happened in only a year and a quarter.
But the reality is coaching your clients on it came from us practicing on each other in a way, right? Like this was, we were able to go through this together in a way that it became, what did we really go through? And that's where this breath framework came about, right? It became, and I never start small, Philip. So maybe me and you need to have a call, because I don't start small. I told her where she's going to be from day one. Now it's just getting her to agree.
You're not dreaming anymore. It's happening. Like he knows. I just talked to him the other day. He knows what the impact that one conversation can have too, because he's feeling it.
Yeah, it changes everything.
Wait, what does this say? Is Michael going to be involved in Breath and Soul Show as well? Yeah, he's involved in everything. He's my chief strategy officer for Annie Leib LLC. So he's involved in everything I do business-wise. Yeah. Thank you, Claire. That means a lot to me. Well, it's really true. It's unbelievable. I'm not saying this to say it because we're on a live show. I'm not saying this for any reason other than to explain that, like, this is the true evolution of doing the work. That's what this is.
But keep in mind, right? Like, it's in reality since January our biggest leap forward individually. It really is since January our biggest leap forward individually. Like, I was still not soul centered going into January because December is when I figured out my core values. January is when I stepped into them. And since then, my life has changed.
So let's talk about the breath framework, because that talks about all of our steps. So breath is an acronym. It's a very important word to me. Not only do I have it tattooed on me, but it was when I was in some of my darkest days, I said that you can strip me of everything, but you can't take my breath. That's mine. So that is since 2015, and that has been carried with me. And so we decided to make breath my word and make it an acronym. So B is for begin, R is for reclaim your power, E is excavate your core values, A is allow, T is through, and H is healing. And with all of my clients, and now we're going to talk about the Soul Center, which is our group sessions that are starting. We work through the entire breath framework, and that helps people to go along the journey that we've been on and toward the path to fulfillment, which is really, really cool because I've never sort of been in this place.
And go back to Mark's comment or Scott Ward's comment.
Okay.
Because that's important. It's beyond that, Scott. Annie found me because she started following my story of what was going on with me, my kids, and where I was at. And she reached out to me March 5th and said everything's going to be okay, because I was waiting a torturous period of time waiting to get my kids while sitting there filing paperwork.
Wait, look at this comment while you're talking. He doesn't remember me, but I've been watching him for some time. Some of my favorite moments are him being all deep and real and his kids interacting with him on the deck of his condo. So that was the very beginning.
That was before, because I was in Florida still. That was before I even went to Arkansas. This was back when I spoke to Mark. Me and Mark, I believe, spoke I'm losing a year, so it might be 2.5 years ago. I keep forgetting about the 15 months I'm here. I think it was about 6 months before I came here. I believe me and Mark spoke. But Scott, it's the synchronicities of the universe when you're ready to accept it, right? And it's serendipitous, it's timing, it's everything had to be at the right moment, because when I was at that deep broken place on March 5th, it was probably one of the lowest moments of my life, when I was within an hour of my kids, knowing that they were being abused daily, but waiting for the court order to come through. And that's when Annie reached out to me after watching that video that I posted on March 3rd and said to me, everything's going to be okay. And the next day I got my kids. And then we communicated a little bit for like a week, maybe.
But I was finishing school and things were crazy. And so then
we didn't talk for almost 2 months, like zero communication until like the end of May, after, right around the George Floyd thing of last year, because that's when I created the round tables with Gabe. And you were going to be on the first round table, and me and you started communicating all the time then. And that was,
God, I just remember, talk about journey. I remember how nervous I was for that round table. I wasn't used to I didn't go live. I wasn't used to that. It was the very beginning of all of this. So I remember like shaking is that my house or yours? I remember shaking on the first live, just being so worried about it. And now I'm like, Saturday morning, let's go live, whatever, who cares? I'm in my pajamas.
Right. So, in your son's room, all over the place.
Michael said, same, aim high, easy is easy. Go for the grand slams, because your competition is your competition, and they'll bury you if you leave stones unturned. So I feel like that in a way, but I also feel like in this business, with what we're doing and what we're building and the help that we're genuinely impacting people every day, I don't even feel like I have competition. Not because I'm better or worse than anybody, but I want the more people, the merrier. Like, and now that we're planning the groups, like there's a place for other coaches. There's a place for other business people. that I think everybody kind of fits. Like, I don't feel like, oh, I don't want her to get my business. Like, if the person's the right fit for me, they're the right fit for me. We will align. If they want to be coached by someone else, by all means, you know, and I don't even like the word coach, but we have yet to invent the word that is what I do.
Right. And if you look at it from a practical standpoint, right, like the people that are right for you are going to attract to you because it's your uniqueness and your gifts that they're attracted to. And it's your way of doing things that they're attracted to, which means everybody has their own place. Everybody has their own position. Everybody has their own people to find. But the only way you find those people is by putting yourself out there.
So Mark makes a really nice point. I need to tie in more with you too. You're awesome humans. Maybe awe-inspiring is better said. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
We're just ourselves, but it's been a long road. Like, I don't want anyone to think that getting here was spirit guide. It's a good one.
I mean, I have spirit guides, right? They're just not human. So like, I think that's different. I think soul curator.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'll come, you know, I think that this is, sorry, I just read Scott's comment.
Yeah, it's a great question. How are you feeling on a personal level? Meaning the process is unfolding. Can you see it growing? So that's such a good question. And I'll tell you why. I had trouble doing that. And very recently, I started to step back and actually see it growing. And it put me in a little bit of shock because it's not watching somebody else doing it. It's actually us doing it. And I'm seeing things double and multiply and happen and start to accrue. And it can be, you can go two ways. I can either be intimidated and get scared of it, or I can lean to it. And I've just decided recently, it's time to lean in.
Right.
Mike helps with that, being such a strategy and business mind that he is. Hi, Adam. How are you?
You know, I mean, the reality is the conversations that me and you seem to have our lives are the same conversations that me and you have all the time.
It's true.
We're just having a life, and we're inviting the world to see it because these topics and these discussions are important. And the brilliance that comes out of our conversations for us individually, right? During our conversations, we want to share with everyone because there's wisdom and there's brilliance that come from these conversations because of our bond and because of our openness, our transparency, and everything else that we have within each other. There's a level there of trust and you know,
valuing the other person.
Yeah, that allows us to have these conversations to inspire ourselves and be self-inspired, and then from that others become inspired. So what we're really doing is having these conversations in an open forum now.
Sparkle said, my competition is me and only me. Those that like you will be with you. Those that find others will find others. That's exactly my point, Sparkle.
Amazing.
And it's so good to see you. I skipped over that before I didn't make a big enough deal that you're here. I'm so happy that all of you are here. She said, belief and manifestation is alive and well. Those ready to lean in and move forward. Well, you're exactly right. Yes. And that's where I am. When someone says, how are you feeling? That's where I am. I've just decided, I've made a choice and a decision to lean in. And it's not, you know, I was always sort of half-assing. Well, now that I'm saying it out loud, I think I was sort of half-assing everything.
Yeah.
For a long time. And that was a lot of self-preservation and just trying in a really stubborn way to find myself. And now that I've let loose a little bit, let go of the reins a little bit and allow the A in breath, just allowing. Although I'm also reclaiming my power at this point. So we're still on R.
Well, but I don't think they have to happen in order. I think they all happen simultaneously.
They do. Once you get through the process, it starts to all happen together. Yeah. That's part of the development.
On different levels. And that's another topic. I mean, I don't think people realize how much they control. I mean, like me and you had this conversation on the other morning, then we had it on a Clubhouse. And it's mind-boggling to me how much I tried to control for self-preservation, right? Everyone
does. You have to be probably Buddhist to not try to control everything.
And even them, I mean, I think they're trying to control, not allowing anything in, right? So it's, you know, I don't know how like, again, this is part of the brilliance that comes out of our conversations, because only we can have these conversations with each other because of the level of trust and everything else. You know, it comes down to, it's almost an accountability thing. It's this cross mesh of everything, to where we talk about all different topics, all different things, all different ways. And the control thing was just so remarkable, that conversation that morning. Like, it made a permanent impact, and it changed the way that I look at everything, every single thing in my life. Right? Because, you know, there's things that we control because we're scared. There's things that we control because we don't want to get hurt. There's things that we control because, you know, our old patterns and behaviors, right? There's things that we control in every way humanly possible. You know, my kid's mother was an hour late today, and we already planned going live, and like, so we're sitting here trying to figure out, do we push it back? Do we make it sooner? Do I not go on screen at first? But that's us controlling, right? Mm-hmm. And then the minute we just said, you know what, we'll just do whatever, she shows up eventually.
Another great example of that, and that's a great example. Another great example of that is my business, our business. Yeah. Like, what we're making is, as soon as I allowed and let go of this, oh my God, I need this many clients, I have to do this right away, the website has to get done, this, it was like this. As soon as I let go of the reins and released some of that control, which didn't take away from my drive or ambition, then I was able to, the business started to flow, and people started to flow in. Somebody said, where do you get your people? I think they meant, where do the people come from? I think they meant, how do I get my clients?
They find her. It's not even, they find her.
I don't advertise.
It's because she puts herself out there the way that she does. She's so raw and vulnerable that they find you. You know, you share yourself with the world, and the world comes to you. You don't, you know, it's when we hide, or when we're blocked, or when we're, you know, scared that, you know,
we're chasing,
right? You know,
when you're chasing,
it's so backwards. It literally comes down to just allowing. Just allow yourself to be yourself.
Mark said, thank you for allowing in us. We all benefit from the interaction. Most frameworks models end up being reiterative. Thank you for saying that. Really appreciate you, Mark. Marky. That's my name for you, since that's your email address. The real success is a step-by-step process, being able to impact lives and making a difference. You have no idea how that sings to my soul.
Yes.
That is exactly what I'm trying to do, I'm going to take that. I'm going to reframe. I'm going to change my languaging. That is what I'm doing. I'm not trying to. We are actually doing it. Yeah. So I'm not going to be scared to say that. I'm going to own it. Believe in soul will definitely reach to the world by your speeches. Thank you. I see the connection between you two. You're in flow of conversation, which is very rare and wonderful to watch, listen to. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, Brad.
Good to see you always. Sparkle said, I was living behind a wall in autopilot. When I noticed I didn't have a clue who I was in shock. I soon knew there was work to be done. I had to surrender and allow the universe to take over. In doing that, I've become closer and closer to my inner peace as I see it daily. I love conversations like this. Y'all are awesome. Sparkle, I could have written that.
Yes.
That's how similarly that is to my journey.
Yes. And I think
we all are on autopilot.
And me too. I mean, up until 3 months ago, I still was, and I didn't even realize it. I thought I was further along than I was. You know, that's part of it.
But don't we all? Don't we all always think we're further along than we are?
I think so. And I know now that every day is a new evolution. Every day I'm just going to keep, you know, doing the next right thing. And some days might be backwards. Some days will be forwards, right? It's the actions. It really is the actions. And being able to, saying the words is one thing, but living them is a different story. And even when I thought I was living them, I wasn't living them. And it's because I didn't really allow myself to live them, because I didn't understand my core values either.
Right. You didn't, and you didn't reclaim your power. Like you were missing that whole piece. So you had to go back and do that, which is, you know, this is part of the process of, I think, what everybody goes through on their journey.
Yeah.
And so that's why the breath framework is so fitting and makes so much sense. You know, it's like, who's your target audience, Annie? It's like, it's not anyone, but it's people that are ready to go on a journey.
Yeah.
People that are ready to go to their soul center and travel there like I have. Your voice through words that come straight from the heart will always make a difference. It occupies the biggest place in their hearts. Thank you. So heartfelt. Dan.
Yep.
Good to see you, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
We love the new sparkle. Yes, we are. It's actually, you know what I look at it as? That it's not the new, it's just the sharpened, because we're always who we are at our core. It's just we don't act in our core. We don't live in our core values. We're not aligned with that. So we don't act as ourselves, right? So like, I just don't want people to say like the new Annie. Like I want people to say she's just evolved.
Well, and again, it's not new or old, right? It's who we are today. Like, simplify it. Why make it so difficult? Why do we have to label it? Why do we have to say new, old, different?
And you're always like evolving, right? Like it's not like I evolved and I'm done. Like I'm far from done.
Every day for the rest of my life.
When I'm done, I'll be dead.
Right. That's my thought process. The minute we're done evolving, healing, growing, changing is the minute we're dead. Like, and which is obviously much harder for me than most people, but I've tried. Didn't work any of the times. But it's a process. This is a growth process. This is an evolution process. This is, this is putting time into yourself, and wanting to reach that next level for yourself. And I think I've had 3 conversations this week about people who just came out of a transition. And when you're in a transition, you feel worthless. You feel like you're getting nothing done. You feel like you're lost, like you don't know where you are. And then the minute you allow and let it go, you go to that next version, next level, next whatever you want to call it for yourself, and everything just makes sense again.
Well, how many times did I have that conversation? Well, a few times I had that conversation with you where I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. This isn't for me. I can't make this into something. We can't do it. And you just went, okay. And I was like, what do you mean? Okay. What do you mean? And I said, I don't want to do my podcast anymore. Like, I'm not made for this. This isn't this. And you're like, all right. And you're thinking, you were thinking to yourself, like, she'll be back. And I did every time. And then one day I just turned that corner. It wasn't that long ago. I just turned the corner and I was like, this is it. This is my, like, what did Michael Thomas just said? My battery's running low. It's about finding your niche, no matter the business you run. It should be an extension of your soul. I mean, that's a very soul-centered way of looking at things. This is my baby. And absolutely an extension of my soul, as my children are, like this is part of me, just like they are. Like, this is what I do every day, and who I am is I put every ounce of me into everything that I do.
So wait, so the computer's dying already?
It's probably has like 6 minutes. I'll be back.
She's like, it has 6 minutes. I'll be back. So when I look at this, right, and this is me, right? So I can't speak for everyone, but when I really look at what me and Annie have developed, it works for everyone to find their own soul center, to find their own core values, to find their own personal freedom, their own internal peace and fulfillment. And I feel like the only way to get there is to understand yourself at such a deep level that you're able to live within your own happiness and your own sweet spot. And for me, that's identifying those core values, which is excavating them, right? Which is, if you go back to the breath framework, and that's where this really came from. Because, like Annie said, she didn't step into herself until recently, and neither did I fully, as I said. But this has been a growth process. This has been an evolutionary process that changes and evolves. And we have to shift. We have to have self-compassion, self-understanding, self-love, this whole process, and truly understand that we can find happiness for ourselves. We don't need happiness to be given to us. We don't need anybody to give us anything, because there's nothing that anyone can add to our lives that we don't have for ourselves. And that is key, right? And for so long, I was lying to myself. This is what I really want. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I have to have. And it wasn't until I took a step back and I went into now what I call observation mode, right? Where I truly watched how I'm interacting and feeling and engaging with others, that I was able to see where I was really at in things and what I really wanted, you know? And this is business, personal, every level of my life. I needed to step back to see that, you know? And I think that's part of what Annie's latest transition has been, was taking that step back and really looking and being like, wow, some things I thought I wanted, I really didn't want, right? Because, you know, there's days I wake up and I want to look for a full-time job because I'm tired of the aggravation. I'm tired of the frustration. I'm tired of the financial stress. But then when I really look at it, it's like, do I really want to work for somebody else every day?
Well, and that's all, wait a minute, time out for a second. That's all changing.
Right.
That's all evolving and changing. That's your old way. Even the way you just said it, sorry to call you out, but not really sorry.
You're fine.
The way you just said it was old habits of thinking, tired of the financial stress. That's all changing right now because of the work that you've put in. So don't frame it like that. You know, I understand where you are. Some days it is aggravating working for yourself, for sure. But I think you meant like a corporate position where you're working for someone else, which I could never go back to now after realizing what can be done.
But I have those moments of insecurity. I have those moments of scarcity, those moments of fear, like everyone else does. But then I think the difference is today, because I'm so being so self-aware, right? The hyper acutely self-aware. We love that phrase. Yeah. That it only lasts about 30 minutes now. And it's like, okay, you know what? I have $3 in my checking account. How am I going to cover this? I need to go buy food. And then the minute you let it go, something falls in place. And it becomes this situation where you really just need to allow yourself to breathe. Like, you need to be able to step back and see things for what they really are.
I can't see who that is. It just says LinkedIn user on
it's Will. It's Will Fulmer.
Will, hi.
I love
it
that
just
comment.
Says LinkedIn user.
I have it up on my phone so I can see who LinkedIn user is.
Oh, nice.
But that's a great comment. I love that last comment.
The most difficult of efforts is when we're struggling through navigating transitions. Yet well, that's exactly right. I mean, I think the whole thing is just like, if you look at and if anybody wants to see true evolution, they can look at my videos from 13, 14 months ago when I just got active on LinkedIn.
How about 4 months ago?
Or, okay, fine. Okay, 4 months ago.
Go back to December and January.
And look at the transition that I've made when I fully leaned into life and allowing and making this happen. And now it's just totally unfolding and it's snowballed. And these are all in the best possible ways. It's just, and now we have, you know, of course, Michael's like, okay, what's the next step? So we've now created the Soul Center, which are the groups, and they are, sorry to tell you this, they are exclusive invite-only groups, one for men and one for women. So you'll have to see if you get an invitation, but this is how we have to do it right now. We want to make sure that everybody's the right fit, and it's very sort of, we have to make sure that everybody's really truly on this soul-centered journey. It's not a personal thing. It's just that's who needs to be in these groups for each other. So we've now created that. And then the Soul Center experience is the next podcast, which this is the in-between.
Yeah.
We're ending Living with Annie this week.
This is the last Living with Annie. Then me and you were talking on the 25th, and we're going to go into more details about the show. And then on the 1st, you start the new show, and you're already booked out until November.
Yeah, so we're booked through November. A little bit of time in there. I'm doing 2 shows a week, so Tuesday and Thursday nights, 7:30 Eastern. Can I join the women's? Have to run. You guys are amazing. I'll be following more often. Everyone have a blessed day. Very insightful. Thank you. Great duo. Thank you, Michael, for all that you offered today. Appreciate you. So it's all, thanks Russ. Good to see you.
The reason that the group is exclusive is because it's a safe space, and this is going to be somewhere that everybody's going to have an opportunity to be vulnerable and grow and learn. And we need to make sure that people that are in there are there for the right reasons and have the right intent, because you're only as safe as, you know, the people in it, right? So we want to make sure that this space is held and reserved for people that really want to go on this journey and really want to grow and evolve. Because this is an emotional journey. Like, I mean, this is real raw. Like, I mean, there's moments of desperation, there's moments of happiness, there's moments of everything. Like, you go to every extreme while taking this journey, and I still do, right? Like, daily I go through these extremes. But what I can say,
somebody said to you the other day in Clubhouse, I feel like I take a leap forward and then I take 15 steps back. And it's like, that's because that's because you're doing the work.
Right. That's because you're doing it. Because, you know, the only way you move forward is by clearing your past, right? On all levels, emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. And this is a process that will shred you if you allow it. It will tear you down. But it's also the most beautiful thing in the world when you start seeing your little incremental changes over time.
And finding yourself.
Yeah. I mean, because this is truly a path to personal fulfillment, personal freedom, personal self-love, personal growth, and evolving yourself to a level that it doesn't matter where you are in the world, what you're doing in the world, what money you're making. It doesn't matter about any of those things. You find your happiness, and everything else starts to align for
your
you.
Peace and fulfillment. That's my favorite word that I think really represents happiness to me is momentary. It's not my favorite word. It's I think it's, you know, my theory is that you find happiness in moments. I don't think it's like a state of mind. I think that this path has led me to a place of contentment and fulfillment and wholeness. And that's the wholeness that I gift to other people when they're willing to be open and to do the work. That's the soul journey. That's the soul center, having that wholeness. And that's the beauty of this program. That's the beauty of working together and, you know, figuring out what's right for you.
Well, and that's part of the breath, right? Because it's not a stringent, strict, this is how I did it, so this is how you have to do it.
Right.
Because of the way that we've developed it, it customizes to the individual and where they're at. And it really allows the individual to be able to take it and run with it, right? And be able to build from it.
Hi, Usama.
Hey, Usama. We created it so that it leaves enough room for each individual to be themselves, right? And really get from it what they need from it. And that's one of the reasons it's so special.
Evie, you don't have a shirt on. Don't come in. I'm on live. Sorry. One of my other children just got up and wanted to come in.
Wait, Karen, are you still up from last night? I mean, if you're in Hawaii, what time is it there?
What time is it? Hi, Karen.
3 a.m.
Aloha. I wanted to be like Michael. Now I have to do my own thing.
I look. You don't want to be like anyone else. You just want to be yourself.
No, you want to be like you. And when you don't want to be like you, that's one other time we need to talk, because you are special and you are worthy and you matter. I strive for contentedness, wholeness, and fulfillment. Happiness is always fleeting. Right. I mean, striving is one thing. And I think that getting there is a whole other ball of wax.
It's 4 a.m. So Karen, you're either getting up or still up from last night. Either way, we love having you here.
I have to tell you, that's me getting up. It used to be me still up from last night.
Right.
I'm glad these days that it's me getting up.
I understand.
It's so nice to have everybody here and have the interaction.
I need to ask Bill, is there a single state you haven't been to yet? Is there a state that you have not been to?
Bill,
because you seem to go everywhere, Bill.
So I think that, you know, unless we have questions, I think that's like our conversation for today. We wanted to just let people know kind of how we've gone along in our journeys and what we've done and why we are entering this world of the Soul Center and the Soul Center experience. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
You're on with all these people.
Oh, this
Yes.
Oh, this.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. The kid never wants to get on camera. Then he comes in and talks to everyone.
Yep.
Have you ever seen more of a mini me? Honestly, come here again. I want you to show your face.
My desk.
I am at your desk. This is my son, Sammy, who I talk about, who occasionally jumps on and says hello.
If you couldn't tell, that's her son, by the way.
Yeah.
You didn't notice.
So this is my bud, my soul child right here. This is my soul center right here, my happy place.
Yep.
Your heart's pounding. Are you nervous? Are you nervous? His heart is pounding. Sam, the man himself, he saw his head. But thanks, guys. It was awesome to talk to you. I was just wondering, but P.S. I was wondering why he came in here, and then I realized I'm in his bedroom.
Yeah.
On his gaming desk, and that's what he's doing. He's like, wrap it up. I want to play Fortnite. So, Mike, anything else to add?
Which is conveniently next to the kitchen, actually. So we have to make sure that that's noted because it's not big snack trips.
Right. He sleeps with the dog on the couch a lot of times. This household is a little bit funky. Let's not.
That's why I'm
Yeah, I did not wake you. Oh, the dog woke you?
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, that's really it. That's all I got. Take care of your mom, young man, Bill Bradford said. And we listen when Bill talks, okay? He's like E.F. Hutton. If anybody gets that shout out. You got to be old to get that shout out. So thanks, Usama. You're lovely too. I appreciate your support. I really do. Everybody, it was great. Mike, anything? I'm sure we'll be back. We'll be back on not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday to talk about the finale done, like Living with Annie over.
Yes.
And shifting to the Soul Center experience.
The Soul Center experience. Yeah.
So guys, we'll see you soon.
All right, bye everyone.
Oh, he's going to comment on Twitch now. All right, see ya. Bye, guys. Oh, wait, hold on. I have an outro. It's probably my second and last time I'm ever going to use it. Hold on. Let me play this. Chill, Mike.
Let's be the best version of ourselves. Just keep learning and evolving no matter what. So here I am, bold, strong, fearless. Let's live fearlessly together. This is real and candid. This is how we live. Share this with a friend and subscribe to Living with Annie. You, me, us. Let's talk. Let's evolve.